a.m. I did get here a little bit late, just been setting up. I've had setting up, and I actually broke the attachment. So I'm using kind of just a handheld makeshift, just the part that you attach the camera to on the top. The stick itself is okay, just the attachment is snapped. So we might be a little bit shaky. So who have we got watching right now? One person, it says. So anyway, there we are. There is the Queen's Park. There's the beautiful, beautiful clear blue sky. So I'm not sure if we've got a good stream or a bad stream. Does it look as though it's a little bit flickery? Anybody? 3 people watching now. Hello, hello, whoever it is here. So it's very early. There's not many people at all. As you can see, it does look a little bit flickery. Hey, Maiden, glad to see you here. As some of you may know, that we had a little bit of difficulty on Saturday with the live. I don't know if this is the camera or if this is the stream itself. We've only got one person watching now, so I'm not sure if this indeed is the result of. Hey, is Wayne here? Welcome, Wayne. Nancy, I think that I saw. So I'm not sure why it's flickering or not. And was it sings a lot? Hey, sings a lot. Very strange. So it says I've got 2 people watching, but there's lots of people saying hello to other people that don't seem to be appearing. Anyway, that sun is beating down. Don't know if you can see that there. Sorry, I just dropped my sunglasses. So I'm not sure what exactly is going on at the moment. In terms of what is going to be happening here, there doesn't seem to be many people. The microphone and speakers are set up. Drop my glasses again. It's one of those days, guys. Now I've broke my glasses. My selfie stick's broken, and now my sunglasses are broken. And there doesn't seem to be many people here. Hello, Sheena. Raise awareness. Glad to see you. What's weird, Sings? The flickering? Morning, all. Good morning, Nancy. How are you down there on the bayou? So, guys, this is kind of not really in my capacity to do anything about this. What seems to be glitchy stream. If or not this is the quality of the stream, I don't know. Only 2 people showing. Yeah, it says there's only 1 people showing on my side. Seems a lot, and there's clearly more than 1 person here. There's at least 5 or 6, it would seem. Is this the shadow banning? I really don't know. Still 2 watching it again now. But you remember, like a couple of weeks back, actually it wasn't a couple of weeks back, it was last week, we had a wonderful, beautiful, clear, crystal clear stream down by the lake. It was streaming in HD pretty much. Not a glitch, not a problem. But here we are at Queen's Park once again, where Saturday we seemed to be experiencing quite some difficulties with the stream. It took me about 8 or 9 attempts to actually get a stream that held longer than a few seconds. And when it did, it looked like we were underwater. So I don't know if or not there's something going on down here at the Queen's Park that is maybe blocking or restricting the data coverage, if you know what I'm saying. Maybe they kind of got it sort of set as a That's exactly what I was just saying, Maiden Montana, that maybe they're having all sorts of problems with cellular cameras. Well, this is actually something a little bit interesting since we are waiting. Yesterday I saw that around the United States there was a hell of a lot of cell phones out. T-Mobile, for one, I believe, had some experiences with outages yesterday. Now, is this kind of the result of the fact that there are many, many, many protests going on, and many people like myself, not just YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, you name it, people are uploading the things that they see. And if you do recall your minds back to last year when YouTube actually changed the platform and the algorithm that required people, creators with a channel, to have 1,000 subscribers in order to be able to go live from your phone, like I'm doing right now. And this at the time was something that I highlighted on another YouTube channel, very large YouTube channel, 100 plus subscribers, mentions that this was preemptive censorship, that by doing this it will prevent the majority of people who do have a cell phone from being unable to stream or cast live to YouTube things that they may or may not witness on their day-to-day, regular day. It might be Tuesday, September the 11th was an ordinary morning until buildings started exploding in downtown Manhattan. So you know what I'm saying. This isn't a 9/11 event, but news events now can be restricted and censored from being broadcast live for millions and millions of people now. And as I said, not everybody's a journalist, not everybody is a YouTuber, but taking that ability away from people is a form of censorship, in my opinion. And talking of which, Lil Wayne, say Lil Wayne, he's not Lil Wayne, watch with Wayne over there. He's over 500 subscribers, brother. You are growing quick and fast, and I'm almost certain you'll be larger than me in a very short time. And if or not, some of you regular Thrift fam have not noticed, we've done it, guys. We've got past the 2,000 subscriber mark. After a year and year of shadow banning, having subscribers stolen, having subs views blocked, videos banned, shadow banning, community strikes, we finally got to a little milestone that has been eluding me for, as I said, over a year. I have been trying to get to the 2,000 subscriber mark, a little bit of a personal milestone, and let's hope we do continue to grow. But fantastic job, Wayne. A couple of weeks ago you only had like 22, 24 subscribers, and the Thrift fam stepped up and got that count rolling a little bit, and now, brother, you're doing fantastically on your own. So are we getting flickers and interference from the it's glitching, and you're going lurking, so all right, yay from Sings a Lot, getting to the 2,000 subscribers, I guessed. So I really don't know why it's glitching, guys. I've done my best to try and set up the stream. Maybe I could try with Streamlabs, but Streamlabs was giving me all sorts of problems on Saturday afternoon. So I decided, you know what, let's just go with the fail-safe, use the YouTube in-app option to go live, and it does look as though it is flickering a little bit every time I move. What is this quality like? Is it like high quality, low quality, pixelated? Let me know, because if it is really, really bad, we could always try and start again and see what we can do with this. But it doesn't seem to be much activity at the morning, and I rode the bicycle here today. Oh, there's Kelly from Fearless Ontario. There's a dude there filming something. There's the skyscrapers of downtown. Should we just stay with it, guys, or should we try something new? I don't know. As I said, it doesn't look like much is going on right now, and it wouldn't be a bad idea to get a little bit of shade before the proceedings start. So as I said, guys, I've broke my sunglasses and I broke my selfie stick, and we seem to be having a little bit of a glitching stream for whatever reason. That's better. I get some shade. So there you go. There's a little bit of nice scenery for you to look at. Let me see if I can get some comments. The picture is glitching. Hey CT, good to see you, brother. Sorry, I just picking something off the screen. It's medium. quality. Well, medium's better than no quality, right? I don't know why it does seem to be like when I'm looking through my camera, it's like a glitch. It's not smooth. That's all. So I'm not sure exactly when the proceedings are going to be starting here. As I said, I'm trying to get in the shade a little bit. I hate bushes. Hate. I guess that's what you were referring to, CT. Good to see you, buddy. I haven't seen you for a while. How are things with favourite Canadian trucker and MRE enthusiast? And what's happened to Smitty? I haven't seen or heard him for a while. Was he turned into a pumpkin or something? I'm not sure. Very good to see you. Still travelling back and forth through the States without too much problem, I hope. I was going to make some inappropriate jokes about bushes in Darcy's undercarriage, but we are here at the Queen's Park. It is a little bit of a serious event. Not necessarily. He broke his leg. Has he really? Oh my goodness, poor Smitty. We should probably do something for him, although I'm not exactly sure what. Maybe we'll just make a video and say get better soon, something. But I'll give him a little message later on to touch base. But that's unfortunate. Poor Smitty. Some thoughts go out for him. It sings a lot. It does like bushes and flowers and gardening. Yes, you do. Some green fingers, as does Maiden Montana, as some of the other individuals here. So a few people are arriving. But no, we're going to have a little look at the thrift bike. Is somebody stolen it already? No, they haven't. It's still there. I'm actually like a little bit of an idiot. I did leave my bag here, which probably wasn't the best idea. Now there is the thrift bike. Spectacular looking piece of vehicle technology. So that's what I'm talking about. That was the selfie stick, and you attach the camera part there. And the bracket that you attach to here that holds the camera is snapped off, and that's what I'm kind of using as a handheld device. So as I said, we've lost that. And my sunglasses. That's what happened to my sunglasses. I dropped them and the lens fell out. Good job, T. But anyway, someone from New York said everything was looking good their end. So that is good to know. So I'm going to try and keep in the shade. As I said, guys, that sun is beating down. It's very, very, very warm. It's about 20, 23, 24 degrees right now. So we will take some sanctuary in the shade. Actually, there's a nice little rock over there we could go and sit down, but I haven't got any way of propping up the camera because I have to hold it. And a little tripod thing, I could kind of stuff it into my bag and have almost a handheld little kind of hey William, good to see you. But yeah, give me like an option. I could kind of stuff my selfie stick into my my bag that I kind of carry on the front of my body, and it gave me kind of a little bit of a hands-free or a little bit more stabilization to rest the camera on. So it could be a long, uncomfortable arm holding experience. I wonder if I could pop you into my pocket, which is something I'm trying to do. I'm not sure if this will work. You can see what's going on, but I can't read your comments. But I don't know if or not that's going to be a good idea. The pocket cam. Do you remember when Baby P, she puts us in her pocket, Becky Pamplin? She's sleeping, she does work nights, but when she's working there, she puts us in her pocket and listens to us on her headphones. So you're in T's pocket right now. I don't know if pocket cam is going to work for us or not. It might be a good idea when the speaking starts, so I can just leave my camera in my shirt pocket. 10 people are watching now. Thrift guy, your sunglasses with your selfie stick. Are you wearing a fanny pack? No, I don't have a fanny pack. Sings a lot. Although, do you know what? There is a child over there, but let's kind of go and take the bag and see if we can somehow have a little smoke break before the proceedings start. So no, I don't got a fanny pack. You should know by now, I do have quite a lot of bags that I use. So there's the useless selfie stick. There's my little, you can use it as a backpack or a front pack, and I usually wear it on the front because then that gives me access to all my things on hand. I can get my wallet, my phone, yada yada, whoopie woo, ray tay tay. So we are going to try find ourselves a little spot of shade and have a little smoke break while we're waiting for the proceedings to go. Had I known it was going to be, I got up very early as well. I'm just teasing you. I know you are teasing me. Darcy sings a lot. I will be, you know, I have been, say I will be. I'm sure I'll be teasing you again, but you know, we give you a little bit of a fun time on the live show. So I'm gonna have to try and put you in my pocket again while I try to roll myself a little something. I'm not sure how well this is going to work. Sorry for the wobbling around. And I actually got some water. I've even got my little, I don't know if you can see that. Oh, that's better. Some sweet eye juice. That was a Simpsons reference in case anybody was wondering where sweet eye juice comes. Homer Simpson got eyes pecked by crows and was prescribed medicinal marijuana by Dr. Hibbard. And he started getting baked with Otto in his basement. Otto, the bus driver. Hail to the bus driver man. Guys, I am rolling myself a little something before the proceedings. And it's nice to kind of smoke Mary Jane on a government building, because that's where I am. Legislation building, or the Ontario I can't remember how to say it exactly. Legislative, yeah, difficult word for me, too many T's. But anyway, it is legal here, so I'm not exactly breaking any laws or regulations by doing so. Just to make you aware. So it's a little bit windy, so I'm going to try and get my things that I require ready while we're doing this. And I wonder if that would work. Hold on a second. I'm trying to. Oops, no, it didn't. Alright, I'm trying to rest you on the bag. I'm not sure if or not that works for you, but you got a little bit of pretty scenery. Bag cam. We've changed from pocket cam to bag cam. Oh, it looks like people might start talking. Typical. You've been here for a long time doing, and then when I'm doing something, it's one of those days, guys. It seems like the force is against me rather than with me. The selfie stick is another thing I'm gonna have to try and figure out and replace. I don't think they are getting ready to talk. I think they're just setting up the microphone. And almost immediately as I was trying to add my ingredients to my little smoke, the wind up. Like I told you guys, it seems that the forces of nature may be, or the powers to be, are against me, perhaps. I'm not sure. But we've nearly got it. I'm going to find out now. I'll probably even go lighter. That'll be the next thing to overcome. I think they got some music or something playing by the sound of it over there. So we've got 9 people watching right now. And this is something you don't get on the mainstream media news reports. Marijuana breaks. So I do know that TSP TV is very Acorn Hippie, THC friendly, and TSP does run on THC. Oh God, we're looking for the lighter. Bag cam's wobbling. Sorry about all of that, guys. Let me see if I did bring a light. I'm pretty sure I did. Yes, I did. I found it. Hey, hipster. They're installing 5G. It's only pixelated when I move fast, so that's good. If we don't move fast and the picture's looking good. We can work with that. Okay. Sirens in the background. So had I had my little tripod, or it hadn't broken, we could have pitched you down and nearly dropped my rolling papers. If I had a rubber band, which maybe I do in my bag, I could have perhaps MacGyvered my phone to my water bottle or something. Anyway, overcoming obstacles is something we've got to get used to doing. Smoke if you got them. Hey Brian, glad to see you here. Have we got Kaz here? Hey, Kaz, glad to see you from the UK. And good to see a few newbies in the crowd. So welcome. There's some wildlife there. I don't know if you can see it's a robin or something. A couple of them actually pecking some worms. The early bird gets the worm. 13 folks. As I said, we do like to get new people showing up at the thrift store, and we did get some good response from some videos I made over the weekend down in Dundas Square. We got some support from Oregon out there, and from down in Peru. So it's nice to see that it's not just Toronto that's paying attention to this. Maybe Toronto is not necessarily leading the way, but influencing others to maybe take a stance and rise up and start to protest in their streets peacefully. Of course, we don't want any violence or looting or fires or things like that going on. And you know, peaceful assembly and peaceful protest is something we are entitled to do, and we are being treated just a little bit. Brian, was it you that was from? I think it might have been you that the comment I was referring to down in Oregon. So welcome. Lots of pines and fir trees down there. It's almost a little bit like some parts of Canada out in Oregon. I have actually driven all the way through Oregon. I've done coast to coast, border to border, pretty much on the west coast of the state some years ago when I was living down in California. So there does seem to be some other, not necessarily news outlets, but there looks like there's some people with cameras, if not they're YouTubers or not. We will wait to see, but I'm still smoking. And that is a good thing, you know. Here in Canada, marijuana is legal. There's a family over there. They've got some bubbles. I don't know if you can see the bubbles. Probably not if you haven't got HD, but children running around in the park. And that's nice to see. And although the older lady over there and the mother has a mask on, the kids aren't. They're playing, they're climbing trees, and they're running around getting some fresh air. I can see a police officer maybe heading this way, so I'm going to try and smoke quickly just before he says anything. And we'll make our way over to where everybody is congregated. So there was the last puff. Make sure it's out. We don't start any fires at the protest. He does look as though he's coming this way. You can see, or she. Sorry, looks like a lady. I don't know if you see. There you go. How you doing, guys? Here I am. And that was where I put my bag. So maybe I can kind of pouch it in there if need be. So please excuse the shaking. Oh, I've already waked and baked. I was up around 7:30, 8 o'clock this morning. So a very strong pot of coffee, and an even stronger medicine was rolled. My wake and bake and a very hot shower. Wake me up, and then a bike ride, get the heart rate going. So I've had exercise. I even had my shirt off while I rode my bike. So I've had some vitamin D, fresh from the source. Got some exercise, got some oxygen and fresh air in my lungs. So I'm a little bit energized right now. So see, sorry if we are a little bit wobbly, guys. There's not activity going on. Hey, how are you? So the police officer has a peace officer on his chest today. Some people looking very well dressed. I'm actually looking not too bad. I've got my nice shirt on, look, but I'm in shorts and flip flops. Rotate your device. Sorry, a little bit of a mishap there. So this is everybody that's here so far. Only a handful of people. But sometimes early mornings, days, some people may still be at work. You can kind of keep a little bit of an eye on the bicycle from here. I'm sure no one's going to steal it. They kind of know who I am. It's kind of nice coming to these little things where you are recognized in a little bit of a part of this small but growing community. So you can sit on the bench. Maybe I can get my toes a little bit brown while I'm here. Just wonder who else is going to show up. The guy in the shorts and the hat there, that's Matthew. Matt, I believe. He is very poetic and talks a lot about the mental health issues and homelessness, the hungriness and stuff like that. So he's an interesting character. Maybe at some point we'll have to have a little chat to him. We saw Kay over there. I think she is the leader of Fearless Ontario, somebody you may be getting a little bit familiar with from the regular streams on Saturday. And there are a few faces sat around the statue of Whitney. Is it George Whitney? I'm not sure if it's George Whitney or not. Maybe Cran Hippie will give us a little bit more information. He's got some a lot more local knowledge than me. He's a bit of a native to Toronto. Unlike me, I've only lived here for around 9 years. But that is long enough. I do have a pretty good knowledge of the city, certainly the sort of downtown core, and even some of the suburbs. I'm not sure if that lady realizes over there, but her sort of dress is hitching up a little bit high, and if it gets much higher, her butt cheeks might be hanging out. Maybe a little gust of wind might help it off. But anyway, it is summertime, so the summer frocks are out, the shorts are out. You know, we have been here in all weathers and all conditions in heat. A couple of weekends ago, I actually got heat exhaustion. It was about 30 degrees. It didn't say it was going to be 30 degrees when I left home, so I was a little bit dressed for Yeah, I'm sorry about the choppy feed, Brian. As I said, YouTube, when you stream on YouTube via like mobile data, they reduce the quality of the film dramatically in order to try and maintain smoothness of the stream, I guess. I am operating on 4G. And we have had a couple of good streams here. Now, I sometimes use Streamlabs as a third-party streaming app, which does allow you to change the picture quality. So you can go 480, 720, 1080, full HD if you choose. But depending on your signal, it's not always advisable to use the higher quality, because that's when you kind of get the pixelation when the camera moves and stuff. But YouTube doesn't allow you to order the quality of the stream, the video when you are streaming, so you kind of have to make do with what it is. So we did have an awful lot of problems on Saturday, and if or not that is a result of perhaps the mobile providers, those guys that kind of, the Rogers and Bell are the big companies and providers up here, if or not they are kind of restricting the access to the data or slowing it down a little bit. Who knows? But I did notice that there was some reports of similar things with cell phone outages south of the border and north of the border yesterday. So is this something that they are doing to kind of prevent information like this being spread, and certainly with the protests and stuff down the states? Yeah, well, we were out and about down in the heart of downtown on Saturday evening after the protest. We went to Yonge and Dundas Square, which those of you who don't know is a little bit like Toronto's Times Square. And we had quite a fun time down there, informing individuals of some information that they won't be aware of, possibly, if they are paying too much attention to the mainstream. And we possibly woke a few individuals up, and it was nice interacting with real people. And we are, I'm a real person. I'm on the street doing real reporting. I don't get any money. I'm not serving any agenda or anything for being here. I just want this message to be spread, and I believe very much that we have to push back, because we are being forced into draconian, tyrannical dystopia. Funny enough, yesterday I was looking a little bit of some information on Logan's Run again, and also A Brave New World, and kind of, my goodness, we ain't too far away. We ain't too far away from this, folks. And it isn't just about getting back to work. It isn't just about, rejecting masks and social distancing. It is making a stand and drawing a line for freedom and humanity. We do not want to be human farmed. We do not want to be sheep or cattle. It's part of the New World Order livestock that are just here to provide them for labor. This whole kind of lockdown and shutdown, construction, service industry. Myself, I'm service industry normally. I haven't worked for almost 4 weeks. I haven't picked up a wage packet for nearly 4 months now. Say 4 weeks, sorry, I mean 4 months. I'm not getting my government handout. I don't receive anything from the government. I don't have a bank account. I don't have credit cards. I don't have debit cards. I pay as you go on my cell phone. I try to be as off the grid as I can. So I'm not living off of the government's handouts, and we need to make a stand against these people, because they are just dishing out these draconian measures week by week. Social bubbles, you're only allowed to have 10 people in your social bubble. You have to submit these people's information. It's ridiculous, people. We are being forced and pushed into a world we don't want to be going to, and more people should be standing up, and that's why I'm here. spreading this information. It's not just about the people that turn up to this event, get to hear what gets to be said. It's people that watch these videos. And, you know, since I've been covering this lockdown protest here at Queen's Park, those streams, videos are getting more views than my regular content. So people do have a thirst for knowledge. People do want to know about this. And since I've been doing, you know, these little broadcasts, people like Watch with Wayne. You know, he didn't have a YouTube channel 6-7 weeks ago. Now he's got a YouTube channel. He's up every night streaming, bringing you other real people on the street. He's putting their streams together, making sure that more people see them than just their subscribers. Just over the weekend, I did finally get up Freedom Mist Media YouTube channel and account. That's going to be an ongoing project. But Freedomist Media is kind of a collaboration, I guess, of some YouTubers that I've come to know over my time since I've been reporting on the lockdown protest. There's some shorts there. But anyway, Freedomist Media is a collaboration. We've got a few YouTubers that are kind of similar to me, fighting for the cause. Some people that also have been here at Queen's Park, broadcasting and streaming live just as I have been. These guys are on board, and what we're trying to do is bring you as much information as to what's going on as we possibly can, and hopefully by collaborating and mixing up our subscriber base together, we can reach a lot more people, and this is what we need to do, guys: inform people. We are the media now, and you guys that are watching, you know, it's not about just watching this. You need to share this stuff, and you know, it isn't about HD quality, singing bells and whistles, fancy graphics and decals. That is important. The message is important, and what I'm trying to do is capture and report the message as it happens in real time, real people on the street with no agenda, no alternative, no filters, no edits. This is real time, real history, documentation. And that is a little bit of a responsibility I feel I have as a YouTuber. I have the access, I have a platform, I have a subscriber base. People follow me quite religiously. I say follow, I don't like that years. They're part of the community, they're part of the family, and let's hope some of you new guys that have found me as a result of these protest streams also become part of that family. You know, we're a good bunch, we're a friendly bunch, we come as you are, we're all about unity, we're all about solidarity. We don't care what God you pray to. We don't care what politicians you vote for. As long as you come to the thrift store and hang out at TSP TV, just be excellent to each other. And more people need to start being excellent to each other. More and more people need to stand together, shoulder to shoulder. Black, white, Asian, indigenous, Inuit, it doesn't matter, Amazonian, tribal members, Bedouins, we all need to rise up, because humanity is special, and humanity needs to be preserved, and humanity needs to be free. We don't want tyrannical measures. We don't want to be chipped in pins. We don't want to be vaccinated against our will. We don't want to have to line up for hours just to get some bread and eggs and milk at our local grocery store. We don't have to wear a mask in order to be able to go into those grocery stores. We don't want to have to be able to go into those grocery stores and then be limited to the amount of items that we can buy. If or not we have the money to buy more, we can still be limited. And that is things that are already here, guys. This is what we're trying to do with the new normal. A movie I speak about time and time again, guys. Soylent Green, this is where we're heading. Already there are businesses boarded up. Businesses have been casualty of this pandemic. This is what Back to Work is about, to try and preserve some of these independent businesses, and together we're strong. You know, the more businesses that choose to open up and sign up to this, you know, they can't close us all down. It's like the Area 51 last year. That's PSYOP. Don't know what that was all about exactly. Maybe the preparation and the seeding to the UFO agenda. That is also something that's going on and being hidden away as part of the COVID cover-up. And the excuse behind this pandemic is in its draconian New World Order, One World Government agenda. That's where it's leading us to. We're 10 years away from 2030, the United Nations Agenda 2030 for Sustainable Development. The depopulation agenda. There's a helicopter up there, but if not, you can see that. Yeah, there you go. That's the medical one. But Soylent Green, guys, 2022, a desolate, draconian dystopia awaits us, I believe, and this is what it's beginning to look like. Waiting in line outside grocery stores, just like you see in the movie Soylent Green. You see people wearing masks. The authorities kind of have these face masks. The security guards on the doors at the No Frills and other grocery stores, they have gloves, face shields, masks underneath, just like Soylent Green, guys. And how much longer can some of these boarded up businesses remain boarded up before people who get evicted from their homes, can't pay their rent anymore, can't pay their mortgage, start squatting in them? How many months is it going to be before people can no longer afford to live in houses and have to live in their cars or vans? The shelters are already full. We're seeing tent cities lining up already in Toronto, Canada. Just on Sunday afternoon when I headed out east to the east end, to the beaches down there on the streetcar ride, I saw a hell of a lot, about 6 or 7 little tent cities or tent communities in various parks on my way. It was kind of on the other side of the camera as I was recording the south view, which is a little bit more scenic rather than the north view, but maybe we'll try and do that again and show you some of these tent cities, because there's nowhere else to go. And at the moment it's like camping, beautiful blue skies, warm weather. It's fun and games. Like I say, it's just like camping. I'd almost like to be camped out down by the lake for the summer. But once September and October starts rolling in, towards the end of September, the fall-like conditions, the cooler evenings will start hitting us. You don't want to be living in a tent in November, December, January, February, March, even April. Good God, we've seen snow in May. So this could be a death sentence, and the casualties and the victim of this COVID scam pandemic are not from the virus, guys. They are from the conditions, the mental health, the people that have been traumatized, the people that are being brainwashed, that are stuck at home, afraid of the future, not sure where the next dollar's coming from, not sure where the next meals come, listening to the mainstream, hoping for a little bit of good news, but all they're getting is fear porn and MK Ultra into believing the sky is falling. So I'm losing people here. Brain's going to be... The new normal is scary as hell. So we've got some good conversation going on in the... Thank you. We're sending you the warm and fuzziest to Oregon. Okay, so it's nice to see some good interactions going on in the crowd, and as I said, always nice to see some newbies to the thrift store. And hope you guys do stick around, and be sure to subscribe, smash the bell, and like. Give me sounding like a corporate YouTuber. But as I say, guys, your support does help, and sharing this on your social media. That helps spread the message, and as I said, every subscriber I get, maybe they watch my videos, they might tell 4 or 5 people about what's going on, and that's how we have to do it. The mainstream aren't going to inform us. It's us. It's the people on the street. We need to be the media. We need to be informing people. We need to be in communication. Now, I do know some of the thrift fam, the regular viewers in the foundations of this community. Some of them that are in close proximity, they've got their little kind of splinter cell thrift fam chapters, I guess, for want of a better word. But they're willing to help each other out and stick together if things get rough and ready in the not too distant future. And that's what we need, a little bit of a solidarity and a little bit of a bond. And we need strength in numbers, guys. We need to be prepared for what could be happening. We should probably maybe forget the idea that normal is going to come back, but we have to fight one way or another. And sometimes it's not about fighting with Molotov cocktails and pyrotechnics. It's not about fighting with bombs and bullets. Sometimes words and information, the pen or the thumb, in this day and age can be more powerful than the sword, and information can kill. It can topple governments and empires. So anyway, guys, I don't know if when people are going to start talking or addressing the small crowd here. That sun does feel very, very nice on my legs. I'm not going to lie. Almost wish I still had my shirt off. I could be getting a great tan down here, but it is a government building. I am kind of reporting a little bit, so I want to try to look somewhat professional. So there is the Queen's Park building. 9 folks are watching now. So I'm not sure if it would be worth me perhaps stopping this stream, maybe doing another one when the speaking starts, or maybe I should just record what they have to say and upload it later. That might be a better idea if we've got a little bit of a sketchy. Oh, wait. I think we are going to get something. Let's go.
I'm short, don't you know?
I'm short, don't you know?
A little bit short. Daddy.
So here we go, I guess.
Hi, everybody. How you doing?
Hello.
Great. Yay! We're supposed to be excited, right?
We are. We are.
That's more like it. So we are gathering here today on a Tuesday because nobody is listening to what we're saying, so we're going to have to get a little bit louder. So my name is Kellyanne Wolf. I am the liaison for Fearless Ontario, and you guys know the spiel, so I'm just going to have Vlad come right up and start the speeches. Thanks.
All right. Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday.
Happy Transformation Tuesday. We're transforming our lives. We're transforming the state of affairs in our province and in our country. Obviously, as we all know, we're still on the emergency act and emergency order and the lockdown. We really don't understand why we're still in this because, you know, if again, we all know this, they gave us the reasons beginning of March to really save the hospitals capacities, you know, stay home, make sure we protect the capacity of the hospitals so we don't overwhelm them. That's been over 3 months ago. You know, they now 3 months later want to mandate mandatory masks where they didn't do this from the beginning. There's other reasons in my opinion why they're doing that. Regardless of anything, you know, we have barely anybody going to the hospital with this specific issue. However, we have hundreds and hundreds of people in this city and in the province and across Canada that actually not able to get medical help with all the things that they're suffering, like cancer, heart disease, diabetes, any type of different procedures been canceled to accommodate the surge that never took place. So when people come into you and say, you know, we do this to save lives, at this point we have to be really straightforward, you know, in a nice way, but tell them no. What we're doing right now is actually causing lives of other people. It's serious. It's really that serious that people need to understand that what's happening right now, people are actually dying because of this measure. And it's important for us to educate people. It's important for us to be that voice of reason, because unfortunately the common sense is not present behind me at all. Or there's a specific agenda that they're trying to push. And that's unfortunate and very dangerous and very concerning for us as citizens of this country, that most of us are immigrants, came from other countries. So we know exactly what's going to be happening now and what's going to happen in next. And we have to be vigilant, and we have to be, again, the voice for other people that maybe don't know it or don't even want to know. So we need to be that person in our group, in our community, in our family. Unfortunately, it doesn't matter how uncomfortable it might be, it's our responsibility at this point. I did a little talk on my Facebook a few days back, and it really discussed the concept of leadership. It discussed that if before people could get away with sitting on a fence at any issues that we're currently working on, well, the time is now to get off that fence and really choose a side. And it's not about being confrontation, but it's about taking a stand. Taking a stand for your own life, taking a stand for life of your family, of your children if you have, or future generations to come. This is where it really matters at this point. And whoever took all the different leadership courses and whatever else, guess what? This is your opportunity to apply all those skills, apply everything that you learned up to now to be the leader. And you don't have to be in front of a group of people with a microphone in your hand to be a leader. Guess what can be considered to be a leader? To voice to raise your voice and take any type of action. That's the leadership that's required of every single person that's concerned about what's taking place right now. And if you're not concerned, please take the time to educate yourself. Because unfortunately, the media and the government is not giving you the right information. They purposely brainwashing you, and they're giving you the information that are actually detrimental to everybody's health. Because when they tell you that there's no big deal to your health wearing a mask, no. We need to tell them straightforward. It's a huge detrimental to your health, constant wearing the mask. You are depriving yourself of the oxygen. Oxygen is essential for your health. So if you want to talk about essential servicing, breathing oxygen is essential service. Yes or yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Exactly. The few things that I want to touch base in terms of what we're doing here today. We're here today because, again, we're still in the end lockdown situation that we are posing, and we have a petition filed, and I really appreciate everybody taking the time, personally writing the petition. If you're not in this area and you do it online, that's great. But we need actual signatures. So even if you're watching this and you are not able to fill it out, you can still come either tomorrow or on Saturday and fill out the petition. We're gonna submit what we have, and we're gonna keep submitting additional signatures as well. So every voice counts. So if your leadership will be taking action and putting your name and all the details on the petition to submit to the legislature behind us to make sure that we can end this state of emergency, just end it already, and we can have a democracy restored, and we can have our representatives actually working on our behalf instead of one unelected medical person dictating the whole state of affairs in this country or in this province. We need to establish that immediately. What else can I share? We're here tomorrow as well, because again, we're going to be here every time there's a sitting to make sure that they know that there are people opposing this. Saturday is something I'm going to discuss a little bit later. I just want to kickstart the meeting and get other people to speak as well. But if you're going to get away with something today, please remember, your voice counts, your leadership counts. I'm extremely excited and thrilled to see children at our events taking initiative and actually raising the voice themselves. When you have somebody who's 10 or 12 years old talks at the microphone that they're here to fighting for their freedoms, well, this is amazing to see that we have a leadership within children, and we have adults that's choosing to sit at home and do nothing. It's unfortunate, again, affair that's going on, but let's focus on the positive. Let's focus on people that are taking action and being here every time we're gathering to fighting for our freedoms and our democracy. And as you know, House of a Mask doesn't just talk about masks. It talks about the new norm that we're going to reject, that is trying to impose on us, because this has nothing to do with health. This has nothing to do with masks. This has everything to do with oppression, control, and we got to ensure that we fight that with everything we have. So this is it for now. I'm going to come back, share a few more things, but thank you. I'll be back.
Thank you so much, Vlad. So next up, I'm going to have Chris Sky come and take the microphone. He's going to talk to you about the Back to Work initiative and how that is associated to Fearless, and how we are really working really hard for everybody. And we do need volunteers. I just wanted to throw that out there, because the more volunteers, the faster the word spreads, and the more people get the information that they don't have access to any other way. So without further ado, Chris Sky.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
So we're here. It's Tuesday. I got some good news. I got some bad news, and then I got some more good news. The good news is Back to Work is officially underway. Every single day, I'm getting contacted by businesses. Every single day, I'm helping these businesses. The one thing I've mentioned a couple times that I want to mention for the record again, because this can apply to about 1 out of 4 more businesses that do not know this. Look at your lease. There's usually a clause in the lease that says if you have a forced government closure, that you do not have to pay rent. This is applying to many businesses across the GTA, and people are oblivious. Their landlord's not going to tell you. Even some of my people that joined the network had paid their rent and found the clause, realizing they didn't even have to pay their rent. So I just want to put that out there. So Back to Work is working. That's the good news. It is actually helping people. We are actually saving people's businesses. We are actually saving people from losing their homes. We are actually saving families from going hungry. This is a reality. So it is very effective. What else has been effective? Spreading the truth. Because everything that they're doing right now is only viable because they are spreading ignorance and lies and fear. And we got to the point now that we made such headway with them that they're giving us such ridiculous dictates to follow to try to keep people's heads spinning. They're saying things like, you have instructions on how to form a proper social circle. They're writing articles telling you, okay, Canadians, you are now officially given permission to hug your family again.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Why are they doing these things? This is called distraction. What are they distracting you from? The fact that we were told 2-week lockdown to flatten the curve. When's the last time you heard any government official or any media outlet say flatten the curve? When you heard it about 1 million times a day for the first 2 months of this. They just stopped saying it because they know there's no curve to flatten. I'm going to update you on the numbers, hospital numbers. We have 500 hospitals. We have about 500 patients, maybe even less, because the numbers I have are a few days old. So that's about 1 patient per hospital. Meanwhile, we have people missing their cancer surgeries and dying, missing their heart surgeries and dying, missing appointments for suicide prevention and probably dying, and worse, domestic violence, people can't get help. But we're worried about less than 1 patient per hospital, most of which will recover. What do we need to inform people? We need to inform people of the latest information, but not just from here, from around the world. 9 out of 10 Canadians don't see past that little box called a television. And that television makes you focus on what they want you to focus on, which is very local and very, very controlled. Why? They don't want you to know that Italy, the so-called epicenter of the virus, is completely open for business. We could all go to Pearson Airport right now, jump in a plane to Milan, get off, jump in a car, drive to Venice. We could go clubbing. We could take a flight, go to the beach. Meanwhile, when we come home to Canada, we're going to be quarantined 2 weeks and have to fill out contact tracing forms. They don't want you to know. They don't want you to know that you can even go to the States right now. Even though our border is supposedly closed with the States, if you fly, you can fly to the States. Most of the states will allow you to go. Certain states will try to quarantine you. Others will not. Meanwhile, when you come back to Canada, you're going to be quarantined. Are they planning on letting up on this? Absolutely not. They extended to June 30th. They have the border. It's supposed to be open by June 21st. So we're going to find out in 5 days that they're going to extend our border closure for another month. And then you're going to find out in about 2 weeks that they're going to extend our state of emergency for another month. All the while telling you every day through the TV, we're opening Ontario, opening Ontario. What are they opening? Things outside of the GTA. The GTA represents the majority of all businesses in Ontario. So if you're not opening the GTA, you're not opening Ontario. Furthermore, they're opening trickles of businesses with absolutely ridiculous restrictions. Certain restaurants can now have people on their patio. Congratulations. How many businesses do you know that can survive on a 15, 25% capacity? Answer, absolutely none. Do you think they don't know this? They know this. That's the entire point. What are they doing in there today? I asked. They're not voting on anything, so what are they doing? They're discussing strategy on how to best manipulate you to go along with their agenda. What are they doing? They're trying to figure out a new way to provide justification to you for this so-called lockdown. Their latest justification that they try to push now is infection rates. They tell you, oh, we got 300 people infected today, and the infections aren't going down. What did the actual data tell us? Right before Trinity Bellwoods, when thousands and thousands of people gathered, they had tested about 6,000, 7,000 people on average those weeks. The infection rates were around 300 people. 1.5 weeks, almost 2 weeks after Trinity Bellwoods, they started testing 20,000 people a day. 3 times as many people. We know they admit that the tests also have false positives. We saw that a goat, a fruit, and even distilled water all tested positive for so-called COVID. So if you're testing 20,000 people versus 6,000 people, you know you're going to get more infections. Especially after you had thousands and thousands of people not social distancing in a park. Or so you would think, right? In reality, even though they tested 20,000 people after Trinity Bellwoods versus 6,000 people before Trinity Bellwoods, we still had less infections from the 20,000 people tested after Trinity Bellwoods versus the 6,000 people tested before Trinity Bellwoods. And even after the mass Trudeau protests, even after our protests, even after everybody going out and doing whatever they want to do, we have infections continuing to stay relatively steady. Why? Because if you keep testing 20,000 people a day with false positives, you're going to find between 200 and 300 infections every day. And they're telling you they're going to keep you locked down until infection rates come down. Infection rates will never come down. They're giving you a false hope and a false herring so they can literally extend it as long as they see fit. And that's what they plan on doing. That's why now they're telling you things like, women, it's time to do your part. You're spreading the COVID. We need you to cut your hair. Cut your hair. And not just cut it. Now you're going to see campaigns telling you to shave it right off. Shave that hair. Do your part. Show how much you really care. Otherwise, you're trying to kill people. You don't want to kill people, do you? You're not a murderer, are you? Well, then shave your head and prove it. That's why
what they did at
like
Auschwitz.
mandatory masks.
Shave
People
the
do
heads
not
at
believe
the
what's
death
going
camps.
on anymore. They know people don't believe it. They know people aren't afraid anymore. They're not afraid of the virus. So what are they banking on? They're banking on that you're afraid of them. That's why they're going to tell you, you have to wear a mask. And if you don't, we're going to fine you. Because they know you're not going to wear a mask being scared of COVID. There's nothing to be afraid of. But they also know that everybody, including all the business for back to work, are absolutely terrified of the government. And they should be, because everything they're doing is coordinated, everything they're doing is planned, and everything they're doing has an agenda. That's not an opinion, it's a fact. There's ample proof everywhere that shows this. I talked about Chrystia Freeland, some people missed it, so I'll just repeat what I said once. She is our deputy PM, she's an author. She's getting directly paid by George Soros to write his biography. When our elected officials are taking payments directly from people that we know are enemies of our country, and not just our country, a lot of countries, that should raise eyebrows. When she writes a book called Plutocrats, The Rise of the World's Super Rich and the Fall of Everybody Else, while she's enforcing policies upon the population specifically designed to destroy small business and raise big business, this is called proof that they know exactly what they are doing. They know this. We also have proof from around the world. We're the only country, this is the only place in the world that's pretty much locked down. But you can go almost anywhere in the world right now. If you wanted to, if you knew when you came back you weren't going to get quarantined for 2 weeks, but you can go almost anywhere and live a semblance of a normal life. The most accurate data to date just came out a few days ago. Data, not models. I'm talking to you guys, not models, data. Where did it come? Switzerland. Why is this important? Switzerland is regarded as the number one healthcare system in the entire world, and for good reason. It's also the country with the number one highest standard of living. So they took all this data compiled from studies all around the world, and they compared it for all of Europe. And they came up with basically 20 bullet points. And it's everything we already know. The COVID-19 virus has a death rate of around 0.1%. Depending on which country in Europe we're talking about, some countries had a mortality rate, people who actually died, that was exactly the same as their mild flu season, AKA no different than any other year, and quite lower than certain years. In worst case scenarios, the death rate was still within the death rate of a severe flu season. So not one European nation had a death rate that was higher mortality rate than a normal year, except for Italy. And now it's coming out that they already said that half the deaths in Italy are not really from COVID. So when you cut those deaths, 33,000 down to 18,000, it just becomes like any other flu season. And the study also proved up to 30% of all deaths we're seeing right now that they're listing as COVID are not a result of COVID. They're a result of the extreme isolation, the extreme lack of care. the extreme lack of compassion that this entire situation is foisted upon us all. The consequences of the COVID from the government are so exponentially outweighing the consequences of the virus itself. It's completely ludicrous that we stay locked down longer. But we are going to. Most people are asleep. Most people watch TV. So what do we need to do? It's at the point, if you haven't chosen a side, you're on their side.
That's right.
That's how it is. You're either on the side of freedom, on the side of small businesses, on the side of saving the economy, or you're on the side of perpetual slavery and tyranny. Whether you realize it or not, that is what we need to get through people's heads. These people that are sitting at home, most of them aren't stupid. Stupid means they can be given the correct information and still not come to the right conclusion. These people are ignorant. They are being fed false information. The false information shapes their perception. Their perception dictates their behavior. These people have a chance. That's why I give you guys the information so we can pass it on to them. Because the people that are smart enough to understand what's going on, but are just believing the lies because it's their only source of information, and who wants to believe your government is out to get you, these people are the ones that are considered enablers.
It's true.
Because they know better, but they do nothing. And by doing nothing, they're perpetuating this. These are the ones we need to target. Those are the ones you need to, they're already awake, but those are the ones we need to provoke into action. Like Vlad said, these are the people on the fence. But if you're just on the fence, you're nothing. You're helping them. We got to get those people back. We got to get those people out. We got to get the message out. The only way this stops is when people realize the government's lying. People realize COVID is not dangerous. The first way we're going to be able to fight back realistically is the beginning of July. Why? On the 30th, they're going to extend the lockdown. They're not giving you justification. They told you already. We can't tell you the doctors that are giving us the data for their privacy. Absolutely ridiculous. We can't show you the data because we can't. And we can't really give you justification. Hey, you guys are scared, so you'll do whatever we say. That's basically what they're going to do on June 30th. July 1st, July 2nd, you're going to hear John Tory come out and try to mandate mask wearing for all Toronto. That's where we make our stand. That's where the people have to say, okay, you guys have pushed us way past the point of far enough. We're going to turn around and we're going to push back. Everybody has to wear no mask. If you see someone wearing a mask, you have to confront them. You have to give them literature. Give them our flyer. Tell them about the health impacts. Tell them about the submission. Tell them about how this is going to lead to other things. Whatever you do, don't say nothing, because that's just like the enablers. Doing nothing is enabling. We need to confront this head on, and we need to confront it hard. And the next battle is going to be the masks. If we lose that battle, they're going to push more and more draconian and ridiculous measures on us. Pretty soon, you're not even going to have a choice. You're going to have to cut your hair. I'm just wondering, hey, Doug, what's the correct length going to be? Is 12 inches too long, or is that COVID safe? You think it's funny? It's not funny, unfortunately, because if we talked about any of the stuff that's going on right now 6 months ago, people would laugh then and say, you're crazy. You're a conspiracy theorist. That would never happen. People would never do that. You think a person's stupid enough to stay in a little painted circle and not leave it? You're crazy. Yeah, sure. Crazy. As we see, people will do whatever they are told when they are terrified. And the government is keeping them terrified and has got them like little dogs on a leash that they can lead around. And that's why they're telling you to do things like wear a mask, stay in a circle. Now you can have instructions on forming a safe social circle. But you better make sure it's only a certain number of people. Sorry, bud. A lot of room. You can't be my friend. This is how they want you to live. They want to be able to micromanage and dictate every aspect of your life. And the more you allow them to do it, the more they're gonna do it. So, all I'm trying to tell everybody is, no new normal. It's time to say no. And it starts on July 1st, when everybody realizes that they're going to keep this going until we tell them no. You understand? No, no, normal. Thank you, guys.
And here we are back on the Parliament at Fearless Ontario. And back to work. And back to work.
I'm going to have Mike. He is one of the staff for Randy Hillier, the only person in this house that is supporting our democracy. He's going to say a few words.
Everyone. I'm going to be a little bit more long-winded than I was maybe on Saturday, because there's a lot of important things going on, and there's things we need to discuss. Right now, this city is basically in lockdown. There's no restaurants really to go to unless you do some pickup. Most of those can't even survive. We need to start coming together in support of these businesses. This is going to be step one. People in the Parliament have no interest in what we're doing out here, sadly. I wished with all my heart that we could actually be convincing these people, but they're fine. They get to wear no masks inside the building. They get to have their videos every morning on the news. More than happy getting attention. If we want to make change, we have to make the change.
Who is fighting against
So let's get a little bit of step-by-step guide. Why not? Step one, reject the masks and make sure, like Chris said, that you confront people who are wearing the masks. Make them know that this is not for their own safety. This is about control, and this is about keeping people scared. We need to show them that we are a community, that we are together, that we are friends, and that there are people every Saturday and every sitting day, and who knows when else, out there that are with them. That they don't have to be afraid, that we are a community and we can build a community together. We build business communities where we can have people coming out, eating meals, regardless of the orders. We cannot live in fear. I know Chris said we need to fear the government, and I understand that some of the businesses do fear the government, but that will not fix anything. We need to be fearless. This is why we are Fearless Ontario. This is why we are going to grow our message. This is why we need to be out here, out on Saturday, telling our friends, telling our families, and telling our local businesses we're on their side. There's no hiding. There's no masks. There's nothing. It's just our voice and our community that we build. There's a good number of people here today, but there can always be more. Talk to your businesses. If you have a small business, a convenience store, a restaurant that you go into just for delivery, talk to them about this message. Send them to Fearless Ontario. Send them to Back to Work. Get in contact so we can start making the connections and building this community. It's together that we will build the change, not by lobbying the government, but by making the change within ourselves. The petition that we're doing, Randy Hillier, is important because it's going to scare the government into seeing that there are people that aren't afraid. It won't change their minds. It won't. But it will put a modicum of fear. And when that next election comes around, they will not be in power anymore. And because all these businesses open up contravening the orders, it doesn't matter what they say. Because we will patron those businesses, we will make sure that they stay open, and we will reject the new normal in our everyday lives. Share every little bit of this on social media. Spread the word, spread the message, share the website. If you have videos, if you have pictures, whether it's pictures of businesses that are closed or whether it's of people that are rejecting this normal in groups, let's get this media out there because we have to normalize this. We have to re-normalize people to the way things used to be because right now people are too afraid and we have to get rid of that fear. So get on Fearless Ontario, get on Back to Work, get on Hugs Over Masks, sign up, talk to your businesses, and we will make this change. Thank you.
That's Mike, everybody. So if you don't mind, I'd like to say a few words. I don't know if you all remember, but our Prime Minister, when he first took office, spoke about how Canada doesn't have an identity. We don't have an identity. Does anybody agree with that? No. I think we're proud people, aren't we?
Yes.
I think we're very diverse. I think we're very accepting. I think we're very helpful. I think we care about our communities. I think that those commercials that said I am Canadian and Jersey people made every single one of you laugh. Am I right? The problem in Canada is that people have a misunderstanding of words. Words are the most important part of any civilization because it's the words that define the laws, that keep the peace amongst such a vast array of beautiful but very different people. The words that are used in that house are supposed to come from us. The words that come out of the mouths of the people in that house are supposed to be mimicking our voices. That is democracy. We are not children. I don't need Premier Doug Ford to keep me safe. I don't need Premier Doug Ford to keep my children safe. There is absolutely nothing safe about putting a mask on my daughter because that oppresses her. My daughter is 13 years old. She's supposed to be graduating grade 8 this year. She's not. Suicide rates across North America have skyrocketed amongst young teenagers. I went to school for psychology, many different types of psychology, and I have to wonder, once you remove the reward system from these children's lives, which is graduation, how interested are they going to be to continue their education thereafter? How come nobody's talking about that? Nobody's talking about that. They can't sing at daycare, and they're not allowed to have plushie toys. But you're allowed to go to Walmart, and you're allowed to go to the grocery stores. This virus has been rampant around the entire world since what they're now saying, late August of last year. So, I'm sorry, but if you ask me, unless you have not gotten gas or food since late August last year, you have COVID in your home. You have come in contact with COVID. I guarantee you test at home right now, you will find COVID. This virus is not a threat. And this government has known that since April 12th of this year, because the Sunnybrook team, the bioscience team from Sunnybrook Hospital, who first isolated COVID-19 and made worldwide headlines for doing it, filed a report and laid it on their desk on April 12th. And in that report on lines 210 to 216, it clearly says that this virus has no effect on, nor can it replicate on, healthy immune tissue.
That's why they want.
Now, our team at Fearless Ontario, we did our due diligence. We met with the lead professor, the lead scientist from the University of Toronto. We learned quite a few things. We learned stuff from him, we learned stuff from other scientists as well. Here's an important point. Every single one of you right now has 328 trillion viruses within your bodies. All of us. That you're asymptomatic to. Keyword, asymptomatic. Are you passing it to me? Probably. Am I passing it to you? Probably. But guess what? You're asymptomatic, so you're not sick.
Healthy.
You're healthy. Asymptomatic means you're healthy. Asymptomatic people cannot spread this virus. This is ridiculous. This government and their tyrannical actions since April 12th has been wholly and maliciously politically motivated. 100% politically motivated. This is an attack on our democracy. This is an attack on our economy. This is an attack on our freedoms, our rights as individuals, our freedom of speech. They're coming after and shutting us down because they get to decide what is real information and what is not, when they don't even know themselves that their experts are full of shit.
Exactly.
Yeah. Bill Gates sits on the top of every corporation these days, apparently. What bothers me the most is the fact that you see politicians becoming millionaires on a politician's salary
Yes.
through all of this.
And getting the power of kings.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous. Let me tell you about democracy. Democracy is the only philosophy that can accommodate the best of all others. But for that very reason itself, no other philosophy could accommodate democracy. So we hear about socialism and democratic socialism. They're full of shit. You can't have democratic socialism. You can only have democracy that deals with a little bit of socialism. And we have that. We have a welfare system. They're trying to make all of us completely, wholly, and 100% dependent on them.
Right, that's true. Exactly. That's their motive.
Because if I hold the water, you need to live. You need me. That's what's happening here, folks. And the last time something like this happened was in 1939 in Europe. This is no joke. I am very concerned for our future. I'm very concerned for my children. I will not put my kids back into a public school because public schools are no longer public.
Prisons.
They're prisons. They're industrializing them into prisons. Covering their faces, sitting far apart. Like Vlad grew up indoctrinated by the Soviet Union in Kazakhstan. You know, we can watch things on the news, and this is the only problem with democracies. You watch things on the news and you don't really believe they're real. It's almost like you're watching a movie, so you can just let it pass, and it's like, oh, too bad, it doesn't really affect me. So it's almost like it's it's not. Democracy is the minority on planet Earth. There are less places that are democratic than there are totalitarian. This is very important. Our right to speech, our right to life, to liberty, to property, to work. This is what needs to happen. People need to start taking responsibility for ourselves.
Yes. It's time.
We elected them. So if we don't want to participate in their bullshit anymore, all we have to do is stop participating in it.
Exactly.
It's
Not
that
comply
simple.
to their
Everything, my grandmother used to tell me when I was young, everything is simple. People complicate things. This is so true. But also that everything happens perfectly, even if it hurts at the time. We need to come together as Canadians under one banner, under democracy. And we need to understand and we need to teach others what that is. Democracy provides equality, equal opportunities to everybody to become whatever they want to be. All you got to do is put the work in. That's it. You have to have more ambitions than wanting to stay at home. $2,000 a month doesn't even cover your rent. It doesn't. And when that runs out, now what? You know, I'm a musician. I've been a musician for about 13 years. And on my way here, I had 5 calls. Why are they oppressing people from singing and dancing? It's okay to stand in a lineup in a grocery store that has had COVID all over it since August of last year. It's okay to go to Walmart and stand in lineups where there's COVID all over the place since August of last year. It's not okay to go out on a patio with a live band and sing and dance and enjoy each other. We have been coming here for almost 9 weeks. This Saturday will be 9 weeks. That is past the 14-day incubation period. That is past the 28-day incubation period. That is past every other speculation that their non-experts can shoot out. We are not sick.
No, we're not.
We have not gotten sick. We bring our children here. That kills me. Not one child is affected or threatened by this. So why are they punishing our children? Why was our kids denied school, education, which is their constitutional right in this country?
To learn and grow.
It's time for us as Canadians to start designing our own brand new constitution. One that holds government, especially corrupt governments, to account for their actions. One that gives the power of the vote of the people to kick them out when they do this. Kick them out. Doug Ford, I hope you can hear me. You are making a monumental, stupid mistake. Your experts are not experts. They are not qualified to speak on viruses because they're not licensed in virology. That is why your superiors, your whisperers, your handlers, so to speak, keep telling you not to tell anybody who your experts are. And that's pretty sad that you would turn your back on all these people. You should know better, being somebody who used to deal with all these people on the oh wait, did I say that right?
Exactly. Mhm. We
Deal
know.
with
Yeah,
people?
deal, yeah, deal.
Street deal? Is that
Yeah,
about right?
yeah,
That's about right,
deal.
right?
Yeah, we got
Yeah,
it.
that's about right. And you know why we became legal. I'm angry. I'm an angry Canadian. I'm an angry mother. I'm an angry sister. I'm an angry daughter. My mother passed away last September in Brampton from malpractice. So I know a little something about malpractice. We are going to find the loopholes that are required to kick these liars out of our house.
That's right.
Why? Because I'm fearless. Because he is fearless. Because he is fearless. All of you are fearless. Because this country is ours. This democracy is ours. This future belongs to our children. And we will do this.
Yes.
Thank you very much. I'm going to have Maddie come up and say a few words.
Hello, everybody. I'm going to digress a little bit. I'm going to weave a little bit of a web and speak to little parts and everyone. And I think I've stumbled on something. So you can hear an actual standpoint, which is not something I normally do, but I cannot stay silent because I am fearless, as you say. So one thing is hugely important is that petition. I want to offer myself. I am on University Avenue 24/7. I pop up a few other places, but basically I stick to college, Young Queen University. I am here 24/7 and I have the petition on me. MATTHEWHAYLEY. Matthew Haley. Find me on Facebook, message me, ask where I am, and I will plant and let you know I am there to grab those physical signatures 24/7. These are the types of things one person can do. We need to step up. We need to come out. I actually got a message on Facebook of a wonderful young sprite who literally is asking what's going on. I wish I could make it to Ottawa. I'm like, it's Toronto. She's perfect. Book the day off work. Book the day off work. I understand if there's certain constraints, you're barely holding on, but if you have that ability, book it off work and come here. Tell your bosses what's going on. Tell them to close the whole business for the day and come out and support as a business. Support back to work as a workplace as a whole. You know, unemployment is killing. It always has. I think I've stumbled on something fearful. Suicide numbers are only concrete out of Canada as of 2017. Right now, suicides, if you search them through Statistics Canada, you are taken to excess deaths. Why are suicides planned? Why are these planned deaths? Excess deaths are anything that is unplanned, unforeseen. Floods, pandemics, Why are we seeing 0 and -5 on this non-accumulative list from Statistics Canada? I'm just going to ask that and let everyone else make their own opinions. Why? That is what I'm here to do. I'm here to ask why. I started looking deep into the numbers. I'm actually doing some really hard research. We have studies and surveys actually coming out of Ontario by the Canadian Health Association that are so difficult to find. You have to get the right keywords in Google. And one survey set has come back and they are literally going, well, maybe it's the stigma. Maybe. We can make hard-founded projections off COVID, but we can actually have verifiable percentages and data from the public, and we can't make projections off that. So I'm going to step up and make those projections. I have a grade 8 education, and I'm writing a 6-page dissertation on the current state, leading to a doctoral thesis that I will call for some university to verify, and I will prove and tell what will happen if we include mental health in the physical medical model. I was here yesterday. The nurses came out for Bill 124. They actually said they're behind getting things done. Fair equal wages, equality, democracy. It is not happening. But most of all, they recognize the issues that are going on and all the healthcare that's being left behind. I've noticed that 4,100 deaths of stress, not suicide, I'm asking for the retitling, actually came out in 2017. If we do compounded math of 1% unemployment doubles that number, if not more, we're looking at 26 million lives per annum to death of distress alone. And I will call that compounding math to take maybe about 3 years to take effect if unemployment holds over 10%. Now I'm going to give you the worldwide number. 800,000 is the recent worldwide number of deaths of distress. Now we're going to do that compounded math, and it gets us up to somewhere around 26 billion. We don't even have that many bodies on the planet. Everyone talks about Bill Gates. I do not know much, but I have seen him say it from his mouth, the word final solution, and it scares me. I didn't believe it. I don't believe that vaccine is a final solution. I will say that outright. I didn't really believe, and I thought it was, just stuff to keep everything going. And I think I found it. So I'm going to actually quote, and I'm going to call out what I think is the final solution, and I think it's in play. I don't take a stance. I am so scared. I am not standing here fearless, but I will stand and push through. If anything happens to me moving forward at this moment, this will be why. The final solution is death by our own hand. They are pushing us around, propagating us, moving us, putting us into these fear states to encourage us to kill ourselves. The numbers are there. The data is there. 800,000 doubled by 15% is 26 billion when you do compounded math. We don't have that many enough lives to sacrifice. They're talking 1%. Well, I think they're just trying to eliminate and go the world for themselves. I don't say these types of founded things, but I cannot ignore this data. I am writing papers on it. I have a grade 8 education. This system is upside down. If we take mental health and actually make it in the physical mental model, and bring it to the top, as we know how it is the strongest muscle in the body, why can't we heal ourselves? That instantly makes the immune system stronger. I'm here 24/7. I am calling to Trudeau, Ford, Tory and Ford, come and talk to me and help me get some momentum, because I'm not coming to the street until real momentum happens, or I see Trudeau in person. I have an N95 carbon mask ready to play ball, and I want to open dialogue for mental health. We never got our movement. We are stuck in the 50s, completely oppressed, not allowed to speak, because then we are called crazy the moment we disclose that we have trouble. Anxiety is a gift. It is an alarm bell to let you know where you stand, and you need to take care of yourself. But yet this can't be talked about. We are under complete oppression, 100%. And I am calling for a movement for actual change. I will disclose that diagnosed autistic by the autistic community, and we're following it up with CAMH, and they're pretty hopeful, and it's looking good. I can't get that finished. Mount Sinai puts me as bipolar. DPD, as my mother was DID, dissociative personality disorder, it allows me to mold and go as I harness it. And lastly, ADHD, that's where I get my energy. These are my gifts. This is my web of awesome that I have unlocked. I am on the other side. I have answers. I've been supplying them for the past 2 years, and the mental health community 100% is saying, yes, you can speak for us. If you have a problem or say I can't speak for you, come to me personally and let's hone it and make sure I can. Let me learn from you. I carry the voice of all, and I'm calling to Trudeau to prove otherwise, a popular opinion, that he does care, that there is some sort of human being left. If you want even a shy attempt at saving your vote, let me help you draft your apology. Bring me into the fold. I will take, everyone needs a salary for real work, 30 grand a year, a vehicle, and I will put in 60 to 80 hours a week advising Parliament on mental health as a representative of mental health, because our rights are being decided by anyone else that's disclosing. That is like gay rights being decided by straights. That is like women's rights being decided by men, and black rights being decided by whites. That is happening within mental health. So I call you Trudeau. I will be on University Avenue until this lives. If we hold lockdown into next month, I will stay out here, and I already desperately want to go home. So please, Trudeau, come and save me from everything you've done. I even still care and love you.
Hey, how are you doing? About to drop, guys. Standing in direct sunlight, trying to be still, not shake the camera. Eventually, does get to you. Actually, let's go sit over on our little rock. And we're probably going to wrap this up, guys, because it's nearly 2 hours. That is a long time to be streaming. I've got to try and save some data for future protests on Saturday. If not, we're going to come down tomorrow. Remains to be seen. If we do, we might not do a live show. We might just record some of this stuff. But also, like I say, breaking a little selfie stick. Had I still had that, I could have set that up and let the camera roll at the front of the microphone there, and I could have left and walked away. But it does get it sounds stupid, guys, but it does take a lot out of you standing still in my hips, my stomach. Oh my god, I feel like I've been doing a workout. It's almost like yoga or Pilates or something, holding a pose. But a lot of stuff being said over there. If not, that resonates with you. But some of that stuff was very much a little bit what I was talking about prior to the speakers speaking. And depopulation, guys. I've been talking about depopulation agenda before on this channel. Sustainable development, the United Nations, the final solution. All this stuff, people, is designed in part of the one world order and one world government's totalitarian control and dystopia that they have for us. They don't want us to have freedom or rights, and how children are being subjected to this kind of draconian measures at schools and allowed to interact, sing, play with other children, things like this. In Huxley's Brave New World book that you may be aware of or familiar with. If not, you've read it, you should have heard it by now. But in A Brave New World, they used to take newborn infants and they used to put them next to books and nature. And every time the babies got close to the books or to the nature, the plants and the flowers, there were electrodes in the floor and they would shock the babies. So they would become afraid to go near nature or near books, and they would only be their only education was what they were told. This is what they're doing. They're damaging the minds of the infants that will be adults in the future, and will be the ones that will be even more subjectable and accepting of the new normal. So guys, it's a shame I left because my little friend Judy is speaking. So let's go and try and walk back. It'd be unfair not to hear what she has to say. I left the proceedings too soon. And we'll listen to that and we will bounce. So thank you who have been for joining me for these last couple of hours. Well, as I said, it does start to get a little bit of a test of endurance standing there. I might do some recording once I do go off light, because there's some interesting people here that we could possibly speak to and hear what they got to say, seeing as we got some time and space perhaps. Robin, new member of the Thrift Fam, she's here, she's recording. There's the Thrift Bike.
You are listening to man and you are no longer listening to God. God says that we are to come together and worship in his name. And everyone has closed their churches, their places of worship. What are you afraid of? Fines? Like, no, I'm talking about the church leaders are afraid of fines. These fines can be fought, and God protects us. They know that we are afraid of the money. Are we idolizing money now? We're afraid of fines because we're idolizing money. We remember, or we're fake. We're lied to remember that money holds us down, right? But no, it's a spiritual fight. And when you go beyond that, when you go beyond the physical meaning of money, it's a spiritual thing. Money will come. So church leaders, all spiritual leaders, please open the worship places. No restrictions, full capacity, and really show. Thank you. Let's have mass here. Thank you. Why don't we have that on Saturdays? And Sundays too. And please, church leaders, speak to each one of your church leaders, mosques, whatever. And you're going to talk about do you want me to talk about that? Okay, the playgrounds have been officially open because rabbis have been cutting them, right? Here, she'll take them over. And I'm going to tell you, at nighttime, I've been going to some playgrounds and I've been taking off those tapes. Right?
You go, girl.
This is somatic, so not being able to play in the playground. Yeah, you can congregate outside near the playgrounds. Come on, parents, you see that is so fake. So I end off with, please, everyone, listen to your chakras, listen to your hearts, and know that this is a spiritual fight, and we must win, and we will win. Vibrant love. Thank you. Hugs.
Judy, everybody. Yeah, that's
Bless her,
one
bless her,
point I
bless her.
wanted to mention. So yesterday,
Oh, hang on, let's listen to
I
this.
was absolutely thrilled to see the Jewish community in New York on video walk up to their local public parks with a pair of bolt cutters and snap those fences open and let all of their kids into the park. That's what happened. You can look it up on YouTube. That's what needs to happen here. We need to take responsibility for ourselves, our lives, our children. You don't need a nanny. You're smart. You're capable. You're able. What do you need them for? So they can spend our money? They're selling us our own labor. They're selling us our own future labor. They're giving it away to foreign places when we have 8,700 homeless people in Toronto alone. 87 homeless people. I grew up in Toronto. I was born just down the street at Women's College Hospital. Never have I ever thought that I'd ever hear the words that there was 8,700 homeless people in my city. That is absurd. And what are they doing? They're not even sitting in Parliament 5 days a week. What are we paying them for? Exactly what are we paying them for? To consort and consult with experts that are not experts? because they're not licensed to advise
I asked
in
her
this
many
particular
times,
field.
Where did you get the idea?
They're not virologists. Yeah, I don't see any virologists in there. Do you? No, no virologists in there. No epidemiologists in there. No, science is specific, folks. Science is very specific. It is evidence-based. It does not speculate like a computer model. Speak to the scientists. They are speaking up now. They're starting to stand up and they're starting to rise in our favor. Doctors.
Okay,
emergency
guys, we're
doctors
nearly
who do
hour
have
45.
experience are starting to rise. That's one more point I'd like to make. These tests, by the way, there's only 4 labs in all of
Okay,
Canada. that
so I'm
can
going to wrap
determine
this
the
up,
difference
guys.
between a
Here, as I said,
coronavirus
we've been
and
going for nearly an hour and
COVID-19.
45
4
minutes.
labs in the whole
And unless we stop,
It
we'll
takes
probably
a
be
minimum
here
of
all
10
day. But
days in
as I
order
said,
to
I'll
get
probably do
your
a little bit
results.
more recording
minimum.
after I finish this
So
live stream.
these
But
tests
I do need to make a little bit of day and get some water into
sold
my
by our
system,
when did it, I don't know when
and,
you became such a salesman. So
regroup a little bit,
But then again,
recompose,
we're
and
the streets
come
of
back
it.
and do some filming. So anyway, guys, I am going to
But
wrap this up. 12
it
viewers,
makes you
12 thumbs
wonder,
up. That's
what are they
brilliant.
testing for exactly?
So be
There's
sure to
only
share
really-
it if
well,
you
your
can.
phone is negative,
Sorry, it
but
wasn't the most
they're not-
smoothest
they're not
or
testing
high
it.
quality of
It's not taking- you can't
streaming
tell me if I have
experiences
COVID
for
on the
you,
spot. That's a lie.
but we do
That's a
do our
blatant
best. There's no
lie.
mainstream at all here.
These
And you heard what
facts,
they were saying earlier, that, you know, we have to share
People
this
don't
information. We
understand.
have to
you
speak
know,
up.
you're supposed to be able to trust your
And me
mainstream
coming
media.
here
You're supposed to be able to trust your
and
government.
recording this live as it
Doctors are supposed to be
happens
able to trust
is a way
systems that they
to
enter
help
your information
get that
into in order
message
to
out
find
and
an
further
agent
than just
to
a
cure
handful
your
of folks
illness
that did turn up this
or
Tuesday
to ease
morning
your
to
information on
participate in this.
They don't even
Guys,
trust their own network. This infestation has infested every level
thank you,
of our
Kaz,
society. Every single
and
level.
toodle pip to you. Cheerio, chim chiminy, chim chim chiroo. So guys, thank you for watching this TSP TV Freedom Media live stream here at Queen's
I like to
Park,
compare it to Britney Spears'
Ontario,
Without all the
Toronto,
marketing, where's the
Canada,
talent?
this June the 16th.
So,
See you next time, guys, and keep it safe
She-
and
she is.
be
She's a
excellent
performer,
to
hands down
each
performer.
other.
Will not rag on the girl there.